Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. Unless you guys are new to the channel, then well, it's very nice to meet you guys. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what's going on with GameStop and AMC and what you could potentially be expecting next. I do want to do a little disclaimer to start with, guys. I'm not a financial advisor yet. I'm actually considering trying to pursue it, but right now I'm not a financial advisor. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, if you guys will, and please make sure you don't ask me directly what you should invest in, what you should invest in. Try to always do extra research on things too, but I got a lot of different things I'm going to try and share with you guys, and I'm going to try and keep it in a very condensed type video. If you want to check out my other videos, I also talk about cryptocurrency, hence my name, but now I'm expanding more out into the field of stocks. And yeah, it's very nice to meet you guys again if you are new. And diamond hands, let's go, baby. Let's do this. So starting off with GameStop. This is a subreddit thread on the Wall Street Bets website, or the Wall Street Bets, subreddit. And I'm just going to go ahead and read through what he said. A lot of people are showing support for this, and this is his opinion, his point of view. Number one, price doesn't matter until the squeeze has been squoze. Love it. Number two, the best time to buy GameStop was 2 months ago. The second best time is now, and it is looking like everything's being set up for a repeat position. Not necessarily it's going to hit the same high point. We might get close, and then people start to take profits back because, a lot of people came in also at the top, and they're feeling the burn right now. If they didn't already sell for a huge loss, they've been holding on, waiting to potentially break even. They might just say that they went out of the game. It's going to be pretty hard for them to try and break above it, but anything is possible. Number three is buy shares, not options. Invest only the money you can afford to lose. That is the golden rule of investing, guys. Number four, don't fall for FUD, which is also known as fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Any account can be a shill/bot, even the ones created before January. They're paying users for spreading fear and enroll you to post negative comments/posts. This is kind of a debatable thing. I was watching somebody else's stream earlier and they're talking about this. I want to know what you guys think, but yeah, I do think that there's potentially bots being put out there and people being paid to say these negative posts or to try and post promoting other things. I think all of that's possible, but there's so much risk if that's the actual hedge fund groups that are doing that themselves, because if they get caught, that comes back and it's going to bite them and hurt them even more. They're going to end up losing clients or stuff like that on top of everything else. GameStop has been and will always be the only play. I don't agree with that, but okay. Anything else is a distraction and limit the impact GameStop can have. Yes, even RKT, Rocket, which I am thinking about doing in a separate video. I might end up doing that tonight. So if you guys see another video talking about Rocket, I'll do a little bit of research after I'm done with this video and we'll see. Never will the planets align this perfectly again to trigger the biggest short squeeze of your lifetime. He's really hyping this up. The most important point, don't sell. This is actually a very, very important point, and I agree with him on this. Supply and demand. You have something they want, we all do. So you set the price you want, and the price can actually go up to infinity. This is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth the world has ever seen. Don't ruin it being a paper hand and selling low, okay? So paper hands are very weak hands. Like paper, you set something on top of it, it's going to rip the paper. You need diamond hands. You got to have strong, strong hands, right? Hold, hold, hold. Selling at 1,000 is trolling. They want you to sell at 1,000. That's why they keep spamming comments saying they put stop limits at 1,000. $1,000 is lowball. 1,000 could just be a gamma squeeze. 10,000 is lowball. So he's really, really, really going to the moon on something like this. I mean, $1,000 for me on something like this still seems pretty dang high, especially with GameStop. And one of the big things to remember is that GameStop is a brick and mortar store. They're having to shift their whole business model because of everything that's been going on here. If they want to be able to sustain this, they want to be able to retain the level of interest and the faith in the community that's supporting and backing them, they have to make some changes. Otherwise, their business model is doomed to fail and then being propped up just based on like the sentiment around people saying, oh, we like them because we like them. That's hard to have for longevity, right? And so we like GameStop. I like GameStop. I grew up around GameStop, not literally, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, but I played lots of video games and I would go to GameStop all the time to be able to buy these things. So yeah, I would like to see them stick around too, even if they do just go to online retail type stuff. Don't day trade GameStop. It's extremely volatile and you actually help them by selling shares that they can buy for cheap. You delay the squeeze and reduce its impact if you day trade, which is true. If you do end up day trading it, you're not necessarily helping it for the long-term perspective. again, there's going to be different people with different circumstances, and I don't think we should ridicule every person based on their circumstances of what's going on in their life. But yes, the overall narrative is that if you want to have the most impact with this stock or any other stock, the more people that hold it, obviously, the more valuable that's going to be for that cause. He said, number 10, this is not a game of greed, it is a game of trust. It can be both. Games have multiple rules and things. I'm just saying. Okay, also, what's interesting is Robinhood. Check this out, guys. The firm said it's facing at least 4 potential class action lawsuits over its disclosure about the fees it receives from other firms. That source of revenue, called payment for order flow, drew the attention of angry users after Robinhood curbed trading last month in GameStop and other stocks that got caught up in a retail trading frenzy that briefly sent the video game retailer shares soaring. In the regulatory filing, Robinhood disclosed that it is facing at least 46 punitive class actions and 3 individual actions over the trading restrictions. Oh boy. Okay, Robinhood, you made a big boo-boo. You made a super big boo-boo on this. You want to try and recover from it, man. You've lost faith in so many different people. I've seen so many people saying that they're done with Robinhood. They're going to go over and use Webull. The fact still remains, Robinhood has their referral sign-up bonuses to get some free stocks. And as far as I can tell, that's basically all its value that it really has left, right? Is you can earn some free stocks on the sign-up. Guess what? You can do that on Webull too, right? I actually have referral links to both of these in the the description if you guys want to use them. I'm mainly pushing my focus on Webull, but before this stuff that happened with Robinhood, I already had some funds in there and I purchased my stocks, so it is what it is, right? I've already got it set up in there, but if you guys want to earn some extra free stocks, boom, there you go. You get some referral links that you guys can use on that. This is also interesting. Look, GameStop timeline. It took about 2 weeks for the squeeze on Robinhood to go from $19.95 up to $347. So on the timeline, January 12th, nobody sold. January 13th, nobody sold. The 14th, no one sold, right? The 15th, it was a red day, but nobody sold, right? And the 19th, nobody. 22nd, 26th, 27th. On the 27th, $347 was the common theme here. Nobody sold, and they held the line. When it hit the 347, that's when Robinhood had their restrictions, and the price ended up crashing more down, right? Looking over on the short interest of what's going on with GameStop here, we got 250,000 short shares availability. This was posted as of about 6 hours ago, so we should get a new setup on this being posted for tomorrow. I don't have a subscription with these guys, and I apologize about that, guys, but I'm just now getting involved with more of the stock side. Like I said, I mainly focus on the cryptocurrencies. If you guys got a lot of questions on crypto, I'm pretty heavily involved in all of that, so you guys can always ask me questions about how that works or whatever, and I'll probably have more tutorial and instructional videos, not just on crypto, but also things regarding stocks, potentially terminologies, all that kinds of stuff, okay? So anyways, we got 250,000 short shares availability right here on the time. Last 5 hours ago or so, there's 3.10 short borrow fee rate percentage. This is actually pretty interesting because if you compare this with, say, that of AMC, I'm going to just show you guys right now the short shares availability. This is GameStop, 250,000, and for AMC, boom, it's 600,000, more than double that of what's going on with GameStop, right? And then the short borrow fee rate for GameStop is 3.1%. Well, what's going on with AMC? It's 8.65%. Boom, again, more than double that of what's going on with GameStop, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull away from what's going on with the GameStop side, and we're going to talk a little bit also what's going on now for the AMC and what people are talking about with that, and then we'll take a look at the charts real quick. So AMC, you got one person's shared perspective point of view. They said bulls are getting hungry. This is through the Twitter post. If you guys want to check me out on Twitter, my handle is in the bottom left-hand side there at Atlas Official TV. Send me your guys' favorite, like diamond hands, stock kind of stuff. And yeah, dude, this says bulls are getting hungry. He's got a price projection point looking back at $11 for the AMC side. And I think that that is definitely feasible. We had some after hours trading that was taking place recently that was pushing actually even higher above the $11 range. But hey, let's try and get back to that zone for sure, right? It's looking pretty darn good on this side. You got someone else. He said, well, click on this. Somebody likes this stock. Check this out. This is a little screenshot. If this is true, if it's true, right? It's Twitter, things going social media. I didn't see this in person myself. So take this with a little grain of salt. But this is interesting if it's true. Because if this is true, that's 4,821,000 shares at $8.93, right? And what is AMC at right now? AMC right now is at like I got to double check on it. I think it's right around like the $8 range or something. So they got these set up, ready to go, basically at a much higher price. And there's actually 2 sets being listed right there. So tomorrow we could see a bit of a squeeze going on and the price starting to rally up pretty well, right? I think that's the sentiment that's being driven more in the narrative that's going on. And it's like what the guy on the Reddit was saying. HODL, man, hold it. Like, same thing. He said the distractions are all the other stocks away from the GameStop, but AMC, theaters are starting to open up. It's a great project, right? You can diversify. In fact, it's not a good idea to put everything, all your eggs into one basket. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. Let's clarify that. You don't want to spread yourself too thin when you're investing into things. Because then you're missing some of the big opportunities. But right now, what is the fastest horse, right? Fastest horse is looking like GameStop and AMC. Those are the 2 big pushing movements. Then there's that rocket thing, which again, I got to kind of look into. I've been seeing people talk about CCIV. I also got to look into what's going on with that too, right? So AMC, they're supposed to have announced very recently what's going on with their earnings, but it's been delayed. So this is through their actual website. And it says the company will host a live webcast for investors and other interested parties on March 10th, 2021 at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The live webcast will be accessible through the investor relations section of AMC's website. And they give you the link. Investors and interested parties should go to the website at least 15 minutes before the call to register and or download and install any necessary audio software. This is for Wednesday, March 10th. This year at time, and then we just talked about that right there. So do keep that in mind, guys, that we have the upcoming announcement for what their earnings are, but don't expect anything crazy. They've been closed, and these earnings reports are going to be identified for the 4th quarter of 2020, not for the last 1 month, 2 months or whatever. But even then, it's like they're just now starting to open up more of them. The big narrative is not where they've been, it's about where they're going to go to next. And most of the people are holding on to this stock, right? And we were talking about this stuff with the short interest. So let's go ahead and go into the charts here. And I've just got a couple key things. I really like the Fibonacci sequences, and I don't really see a lot of other people as far as for these stock guys that are talking much about this. But, when we take a look at this has been a key fundamental for me for a long time now. So you got actually a descending triangle pattern right here. And I think the biggest narrative behind this is that it's actually passed above. It's broken the level of resistance up on the top side here. And we do have potential for gains, right? Based on this, when we first broke through, that was in the aftermarket position actually. This actually shows that we have the potential for GameStop to realistically go to $547.26 or so. Man, my nose is really, really itching right now. I got some bad allergies, guys. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, so things are looking really good. It's got lots of different zones it's going to have to pass through from a Fibonacci sequence perspective. But we saw how these squeezes work, guys, and it's looking pretty darn good, right? We're going into a little bit of a consolidated. Wow, I just had a weird tongue twister. We're going into a little bit of a consolidated time frame right now. And as you guys can see, these breaks are just temporarily above that of the Fibonacci sequence with these wicks. And then it pulls back and they're closing out on the dailies belowhand. And then you can also see that the level of volume has been pulling down. Things are getting more and more calm. And that typically happens before you end up shifting and it starts to rally up once again. So we had this long period from here. This was from January 27th all the way to February 23rd. That was almost a month of just slow activity compared to what we were seeing before. If you want to say like really low volatility, then I guess you could actually take a look at the volume. And this was from February 8th to February 23rd, which is still, a couple weeks going on with that. And we might end up seeing something like that play out again. I'm sure a lot of people are nervous given the fact that March of last year was when we had the big plunge with everything. So from a psychological standpoint, people are concerned if we might see a repeat around those kinds of times, right? Especially we were just seeing big drops with this and with Bitcoin towards the end of February. It's like, whoa. Is this going towards a dead cat bounce? right? Is this a dead cat? Trey, I know what you're thinking, man. It's not a dead cat. 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 And, let's hope that it is true that this is not a dead cat. And everything is lining up to look like that's the truth, that it is not a dead cat type situation, right? So as it is right now, here we go. We have potential support at $82.73. That's on the 21 EMA. And then if it decides that it wants to drop down even further, then guys, everything kind of baselined out right around $36.51. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's just my opinion. We're above the 21 EMA, suggesting we're still in a bull market type position. Okay, and if it decides that it wants to go up, it actually closed out today right around $120 and like right around $120. I think it was actually at $120 exactly. So if the new daily candle actually opens up at that, that's going to be good. We'll show some potential signs for further continuation. We'll have some resistance, obviously, at $125.45. Another major level at $194 on the Fibonacci. Further continuation up at $247.85. Another level at $303.74. And then it's just going to keep ending up exploding more and more up. But these are some of the major levels that we're going to realistically need to try and keep our eyes peeled. And that's for the GME. The RSI was actually suggesting it being as more or less a median zone. It's just slightly on the overbought side, but not actually going towards the danger zones by any means. So we're doing just fine. Doing just fine on that, guys. Now, if we take a look at what's going on with the AMC side, AMC, we also have the same kind of parallel movement going on with this, and that's also one of the reasons why I decided to include it in the same video with this. But if you guys think I should do separate videos, let me know in the comments. This is also descending triangle-based pattern. We did break out above that. This looks like potential that we could end up going towards around $25.22 on a little bit more of a macro type perspective, but obviously a lot of people are thinking it's going to go like super moon, like $1,000 and stuff like that. But to do something like that, we would even need to break this major level zone first at $80.69 with squeezes like what was happened before with like Volkswagen in the past. We could see something like that happen, but this is reference points based on the data that we currently have, right? Okay, so looking at that, we do have ourselves a little bit in the red position for the last daily candle. It actually closed out after hours just barely above $8.94. So, just slightly correcting itself, but still overall in the red. And we do have support on that Fibonacci sequence, as you guys can see right here. That's $8.93. And this is what I was talking about, guys. Fibonacci's a legit thing, man. I love it. I love it. If it decides it wants to go down further tomorrow, we would actually be potentially seeing it go back towards this top level of resistance, now formed as a level of support. That's at $7.41. The 21 EMA looks like it's getting ready to cross over at that same point. So that's going to be a very strong level of support if it decides to drop. The bad news is it would drop below the $8 region zone, which realistically we don't want to see that happen, especially with all these people that are doing these option contracts. And if this decides it wants to go even further down, we'd see a significant level at $6.24. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just letting you guys know the levels on this stuff. We do see a little bit of resistance being formed right here, actually. That's going to be right at around $9.41. Let me go ahead and set up my little level right here with that. Okay, right around $9.41 or so. Break above that, then we've got the next Fibonacci at $11.11. Then $11.89. That's just for me. That's where I kind of came in on one of the apps that I was using. So I'm technically positive on one, I'm negative on the other. But if I just wanted to be positive on both, then that's just where I came in. So that's my own little blue line. You guys can ignore that if you guys want. Or not ignore it. It's up to you. Maybe draw some happy trees, whatever. I don't know. We got $13.31 is another major zone they're going to be trying to aim for here more on the short term. The RSI, same thing. It's like just slightly over the median zone, but we still got plenty of room to grow on this stuff, guys. So overall, things are looking pretty darn good. I'm going to go and wrap up the video here. Made it a little bit longer than what I meant to. I was trying to make it around 10 minutes, and I kind of go on these tangents sometimes. But I will be doing more videos on this stuff, guys. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button as well. Click the bell icon so you know whenever we have a new video. We got new news, that kinds of stuff. I might even do some live streaming of this pre-market, or I might do it during market hours, stuff like that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys being here. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. To the moon, baby! To the moon! And I'll see you guys in the next episode.